Hello, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be beginning the narration and character voice acting for the vignette side story, The Black Forest Wills a Dream, or as it was and still is technically named back when it released in the Chinese client, Skógrinn Svartr Vill and Draumr. And yes, I can say that, and yes, that is a flex. But anyway, let us begin here with our usual introduction, which is, do you need to know anything before going into this side story? Or rather, this vignette side story. And the short and simple answer is no, you can just enjoy the side story from the get-go. This is very hard to explain to maybe newcomers, but essentially, the Sami stuff has been teased for the past literal 4 years of this game, with tiny little bits of information here and there, so you are pretty much clear to just begin this side story. And if you have questions, maybe ask them in the comment section below, and either I or someone else can give you an answer. However, there is one little asterisk here, one little extra note that I would like to point out, and that is a side story that exists in the game, which I would say might be interesting to look at, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. By going into the archives, by going into intelligence, this one, and then into operational intelligence, the vignette side story collection, we will find the story Polaris. Now, very recently here on the channel, I did cover this entire thing, and I will link it both in the description of this video, the entire playlist, and in the pinned comment down below with all the timestamps as usual. So, if you want to know this story before heading into this, it's a pretty short one, a couple of minutes long. This story tells essentially of Magallan, which is part of this story, and of this story that we are covering today, by the way, and the character that was for the past 4 years in NPC jail, Santalla. Yes, 4 years ago, when, well, roughly 4 years ago, when the side story, or rather the vignette side story, Operational Intelligence released into the game here on Global, Santalla was already in the game as an NPC, but pretty much a very highly detailed NPC that I think everybody would know is a playable character considering the details on the character, or will eventually become playable, potentially. You know, usual stuff with these kinds of characters is they become playable down the line, and I'm very happy that this very interesting and beautiful character has been finally released, personally. But yeah, 4 years, jeez. But yeah, anyway, playlist is in the description. You only need Polaris, you do not need the rest of this, cause these are all individual stories. So hit up the playlist and look for Polaris in, I think it's only a 2-parter series, or if it's not, it's in the final part anyway, so you will find it very easily. But for now, let's return to our current side story. So then, the long and short, if you want the background of the meeting between Magallan and Santalla, it's there. But overall, you can just enjoy this, as this will pretty much ease us into the whole shtick and caboodle between the Sami, the Ursus, and the demons. Cause there's a lot to cover there, and in today's first 2 parts of this story that we're gonna be covering, a lot of stuff gets already brought up, so this will be a romp. But yeah, quick overview. Like I just said, the first 2 parts we're gonna cover today. Considering this is a 7 individual card thingy here, I am not 100% sure how I'm gonna handle the next 2 parts, because there's gonna be 2 parts more of this. These are definitely hefty chunks of stories, as you can see already by this very first episode. But either the next part is gonna be 3 stories in one, or 3 cards in one, and then the final 2, or vice versa. We'll see when we get to that. I will, however, say this. Beautiful design, absolutely cool. Just cool. This edgelord, cool. And one thing that makes me very happy, and I've seen her in the, and was thinking that it has to be her in the animated short trailer that they always release for this. Gintano is finally being part of the Sami, and Sami thing, story and everything apparently, and are we finally gonna learn something? We'll see, I guess. I'm just happy, because a long time ago I said I kind of want to see her in this environment being brought in and all of that kit and caboodle, but yeah, we'll see. For now, not to hang too much on this intro, let us begin with our first part and the first titled card in here, which is In the Biting Cold. So let's begin. Ursus, Icefield entrance, Wright Koczynski Scientific Investigation Supply Depot. Finally here. A device springs to life. Please, enter passphrase.
Colombian Billy Bro, Ursus Cautus Docilis. Horosho.
Verifying passphrase. Confirmed. Corosho, Colombian. Verifying speaker. Confirmed. Rhine Lab serial number CRL005. Suddenly, a strange tone is heard from the device, and it seems to be glitching out for a bit, until... Welcome to the Wright Koczynski Scientific Investigation Supply Depot. Magallan fishes out a notebook.
Audio system in Ursus WK station is slightly damaged. Maintenance unnecessary for now. That should do. Professor Mary's team probably took enough supplies for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 20 people? 20 people's worth of supplies for a team of 15.
She fishes out the notebook again.
Only 5% of supplies remaining, enough for 10 people, excluding myself. Requires restocking. Now, what else? Structure shows no signs of damage. Energy, no recharge needed. Life support equipment, still good. Temperature's alright. First aid kits appear to be unused. Doors and windows show no sign of external damage. And finally...
She starts to operate the supply depot equipment.
Yep, that's the route.
She confirms signals returning from outposts along the route.
The routine reports along the way suggest they didn't run into any trouble.
2 months ago. Colombia, 3 months, Rhine Lab headquarters, Scientific Investigation Section.
Alright, I'll prepare to depart then. Anything else you need me for?
That should be all. There's one last thing, but you can't tell anyone.
Huh? Sure, I can keep a secret.
He glances nervously around. Director and Mariam's team went missing in the Icefield.
Huh? What happened to Professor Mary?
Keep it down. Anyway, that's the gist of it. So your top priority on this trip is to find and rescue the Director's team. The Exploration Society is already organizing their own search and rescue, but I'm sure you know how inefficient they always are. So, you're the only one they can count on.
Got it.
She continues to operate the supply depot equipment.
The other outposts seem normal, which means they're still together. That or... A signal from a Colombian outpost?
She continues to operate the supply depot equipment and picks up a receiver. This is... Beyond base. We're under... Need... coordinates!
A signal sent by Professor Mary himself, which means he should still be there. But it would take some time for the signal to travel all the way here.
She pats her own cheeks.
First things first, Magallan.
She presses the console button. It beeps to life.
CRL-005, Magallan.
Identity verified. How may I help you?
Give me both the outgoing and incoming signal logs from Columbia in the last 3 or so months. Thanks.
Confirmed. Beginning encrypted callbacks to messenger outpost. She switches the console off.
Ursus uses the base station established by the Exploration Society too, so that'll be convenient for applying for an Icefield entry permit. I can go as soon as the messenger from Ursus gets here to confirm the documents. I'm on my way, Professor, so stay out of any serious trouble. That was fast. Please give me a moment. I'll be right there. Hi there.
Miss Venta Magallan.
Is this Mr. Ivan?
Yes, on business as usual.
One sec, I'll open the door for you. Hello, Mr. Ivan. Would you like to take a rest inside?
You know the rules, Miss Magallan. If I take even half a step forward, we'll never hear the end of it from the Colombians.
It's just us here. Who's gonna know?
Your little machine is already keeping a close eye on us.
Between you and me, the systems here aren't as smart as you think.
Still, better to be safe than sorry when dealing with the Colombians. Not that I don't trust you, of course, but allow me to decline your kind invitation out of an abundance of caution. Now then, if you could show me your documents.
That should be all of them.
Entry permit, expedition route confirmation, cartography commission. Very good, Miss Magallan. Everything seems to be in order. That said, I have some unfortunate news for you. All Icefield expedition permits this year have been cancelled.
What? The documents should all be...
I doubt this is the first time you've experienced this, so please try to understand our situation.
But I have to go. It's urgent. Could you please manage some kind of workaround?
It's not impossible if you can tell me why.
Really?
Really?
So the thing is, we have a missing team out there and I need to find them, or at least confirm their situation. There are lives at stake here, so whatever conditions there are, I'll agree to them after I find them.
Then you should have reported this through official channels and waited for an Ursus rescue team. Why set out on your own?
I understand, I really do, but an official rescue team needs time to prepare, right? I'm an explorer too, one pretty familiar with the Icefield if I do say so myself, and finding them even a day earlier will make the follow-up rescue that much simpler. Also,
I understand. Then do you mind sharing the missing group's last known coordinates?
Oh, okay, just give me a moment. They should be around here.
Thank you. Ivan talks in an Ursin dialect over the radio. I've obtained the Colombians' coordinates. Based on them, they likely have something to do with what's happening in the north. Very good. What do we do with the girl? She is supposedly a veteran explorer from Colombia, but her importance to the country is unclear. Keep an eye on her and await further instructions. Understood.
Mr. Ivan...
I just confirmed with my colleagues. My apologies, Miss Magallan, but we still can't let you head any further north. The front is under military control, so it's out of my hands.
Then,
But to make up for it, I can accompany you anywhere within Ursus territory. My status as an Ursus official should simplify things for you.
let me think then. Oh, right, Sami! No one would block me if I entered the Icefield through Sami, right?
In theory, yes. However...
Then let's go to Sami first. I'm all ready, Mr. Ivan. Please take me there now.
Ivan over the radio in an Ursine dialect. She wants to enter the Icefield through Sami. Do you have enough time to run a background check? Just do what she wants. Investigating a Colombian with a public identity won't take long. When you reach the border, the guards will send someone to take over your job. Roger. Be careful not to let the witch spot you. Understood. As you wish, Miss Magallan. Captain, a moment please. You have a question, soldier. Yes, Captain, regarding our mission. You have concerns about the military's arrangements. No, sir, I wouldn't dare. I was only thinking about how we treat the Sami. You pity those creatures. Yes, Captain, I think. What did you say? I can understand your sympathy. Let me ask you a question though, soldier. As I recall, you're the son of a farmer. Yes, Captain. Then, on your family's land, you must breed burden beasts. Use them to pull your carts and otherwise create value, as your father demands. Do you think those burden beasts would have done any of that on their own, without your father to tame them? Of course not, Captain. So, what makes you think the Sami would? But, Captain... After the Ursus people overthrew the Hippogriff's rule, they spent a millennium transforming the land into what Ursus needed it to be. And yet Sami remains a desolate woodland. The Sami have contributed nothing to civilization. I believe that with proper guidance, they will eventually come to understand the painstaking efforts Ursus has made here. We've brought them the fire of civilization, so they should be shedding tears of gratitude. Yet their response, well, I believe it goes without saying. Yes, Captain. They understand only strength, and more civilized means of persuasion fall on deaf ears. As such, violence is a necessary evil. But when their descendants are living in sturdy homes and enjoying the products of Ursus culture, then they'll understand. Understood, Captain. Reporting in. A group of Sami sighted ahead, engaged in combat with the demons. Get information, and have the caster team ready their arts. Yes, sir. Captain, you... Not even a disobedient burden beast deserves to be devoured by starving beasts. Wouldn't you agree? All units, prepare to attack the demons. Yes, sir. 1 week later, Sami Ursus border. Just a little further and we'll reach the border sentry outpost, and Sami is a short trek from here. This is as far as I can accompany you.
It's been a whole lot easier communicating with anyone from Ursus with you around.
Your Ursin isn't bad, although your accent is, thick.
I doubt I'll be fixing that anytime soon. And I still have a lot to learn. Sometimes I can't understand a word you're saying, Mr. Ivan.
Oh, and very quickly here, obviously from Magallan's perspective, I will be pronouncing the name as Ivan, even though I, as a Croatian, do know that the name is supposed to be obviously pronounced as Ivan. But it is Magallan who is saying the name. So, continuing. It's an obscure regional dialect. Not even other Ursus can understand me sometimes. I could teach you some on your next visit, if you're not so busy next time.
Really? That'd be wonderful. Thanks.
You're very welcome. By the way, are you particularly familiar with Sami?
Well, I've never used this route before, so not really. But I've heard it takes just as many supplies to get through Sami as it does to enter the Icefield, and there are fewer outposts there as you get nearer to the Icefield, so restocking is difficult too.
Indeed, it is a savage place.
You don't seem to like it much, Mr. Ivan.
Normally, there is a permanent garrison at every outpost on the Ursus border, but the Sami Ursus border only has regular patrols. Can you guess why?
Does Ursus have some sort of dispute with Sami?
Dispute? The Sami invaded Ursus territory and attacked our soldiers, all to satisfy their malicious primitive desires. Even the sentry outpost up ahead was once occupied by the Sami for no reason at all. We even so kindly helped them repel the demons before issuing a protest to reclaim our territory. But they refused to leave, and even harmed our soldiers. In the end, we had no choice but to drive them out with force.
Is that so? Is that so?
The barbarous Sami exacted their revenge by sending out a vengeful spirit we called the Witch. She killed every last soldier at the outpost, and has been wandering the border ever since. Whenever she runs across a small squad, she engulfs them in a snowstorm before going in for the kill. But if she meets a large force, she'll hide in the wind and snow. We can neither get rid of her nor chase her away. A real thorn in our side. In the end, our only option is to strengthen the border defenses with an elite patrol squad, simply to prevent the Sami from wreaking further havoc. You must also be careful when passing through Sami. The moment they spot an outsider, they will not stop until they rip out your throat to sip on your blood. Like the wild beasts swarming the snowfield, we can only keep them in check by force. Am I clear?
Yeah, you're clear.
Good. It's windy out here. Let's hurry to the outpost and get some rest. Is the monster still there?
It's been driven off, so we should be safe for now.
Ooh, wonderful. Hey, friends from Ursus, how's the situation over there? No casualties on our end. Freya, do you still have any extra water? Bring some for Ursus friends.
At once.
Whew, that was a little dangerous earlier. If you guys haven't helped out, some of our fledglings here might have already been on their way to meet the ancestors. Please, there is no need for that. We share a common enemy. Where are you people headed to next? We just happened to be passing by while performing our military duties. The people of Ursus sure are stiff. We just fought demons and you're still thinking about these military duties of yours. Your brothers must be exhausted. Come, rest at our camp. Warm yourselves by the fire, and have some dried meat before hitting the road again, friend. Then, I suppose it would be rude to refuse. There's no need to be so polite. Freya, where's the water?
I'm still patching someone up. Give me a moment.
Forget about it then. We're, bringing them back to camp for drinks. Santalla!
What wrong?
double check that there are no more demons in the area while I take the wounded and our Ursus friends back to camp.
Got it. Then I'll return when I'm done. Remember to leave me a spot under the tree.
But of course. Get up, kiddos. Time to head home. Listen up, soldiers. Advance information.
Is this really a sentry outpost? It's so spacious. And this tree specked up in the center. Does Ursus have a custom of planting trees in the middle of buildings, Mr. Ivan?
It was planted by the Sami and has been dead for a long time. But fortunately, it's sturdy enough to act as a much-needed barrier out here in the snowfield, so we decided to let it stand rather than cutting it down for firewood.
There aren't any other trees in 100 miles, so why would they randomly plant one right in the middle of the snowfield?
I wouldn't know.
Can I, collect some samples?
By all means. He switches to an Ursin dialect on the radio. We've arrived at the Dead Tree outpost. The witch has not bothered us. We've finished our investigation into the girl too. Her background is unremarkable, but we can make use of her expertise. The border guards will move to her position as soon as they can. They'll take the girl and pass her on to the investigation team, who need someone to guide them across the ice field. Your role ends there. Understood. I'll go ahead and prepare the signal beacon to connect at any time. My apologies, little one. My apologies, friend. What are you doing? Lower your weapons! My duty is to expand our territory for His Majesty the Emperor. What? From today onwards, this too is Ursus' territory. No, what exactly do you mean? Did I not make myself clear, barbarian? This is the only settlement within 100 kilometers. Once we occupy it, Great Ursus will naturally be the master of this land. As this is now Ursus' territory, I must request that you leave. We've been living here for ages, while all you've done is plant a flag. What grounds do you have to claim this land as yours? Because we're here now. No more reason is needed. In honor of our friendship and mutual assistance against the demons, I'll give each of you two choices. Leave this place at once, or become subjects of Ursus. You and your people are excellent warriors, so our nation will gladly welcome you. Of course, you must learn to speak Ursin, wear Ursus clothing, and most importantly, abandon your abominable and heretical beliefs. You! The Sami shaman silently starts to mouth a spell. Caster, shut that witch up. Freya! Don't do anything foolish. Don't even think about resisting. The Sami warriors start to speak in Sami. Oh, old tree, I plead you bear witness in my stead. Ah! You leave me no choice, friend. All units, attack! Please speak. The wind from the direction of the border guard seems off, so there might be an incoming snowstorm. Find an open space to deploy a signal beacon for them. and upon making contact, take the target and leave the area immediately. Understood. I see you are done collecting samples.
This tree has some amazing properties. Biologically speaking, it's completely withered. But what's strange is how parts of it still feel alive and well. With more thorough research, I might even be able to publish a whole paper on it.
A great blessing to academia, no doubt. But there is a snowstorm coming, so you'd better go shelter in the outpost first.
Gotcha. You're not joining me, Mr. Ivan?
I'm going to go and check the scale of the storm, so that if the weather worsens, we'll still have a chance to send for help.
Oh, okay. Please, have some of this before you go. I just heated up some water, so have a cup to warm yourself up.
That's alright. I'll be right back.
Mr. Ivan... Wait, why am I hiding in here by the fire while he's hard at work outside? That doesn't seem right. I'm an explorer, aren't I? How can I let my companion face this alone? Maybe I should... So cold.
Magallan looks towards the window.
Ow, my face hurts. The wind's picking up. You need to be careful, Mr. Ivan. That's Mr. Ivan? No, that's not... That's a...
A gust of wind kicks up waves of snow pouring towards the outpost. However, the waves seem to advance only sluggishly, at a controlled speed, as if commanded to do so. This is not an optical illusion caused by the distance, but the wind and snow are indeed following orders. They dare not let even a snowflake overtake their leader without permission. And she, currently leading the wind's charge, holds her scepter high as she slowly makes her way towards the outpost. One step, then another. Smooth, steady, unquestionable. Until the land is buried beneath the wind and snow. Or so it might have gone, but Magallan welcomes the scene more than anyone else on the northern frontier, because the woman walking amongst the ice and snow is her best friend on the ice field.
Simone!
As her shout travels across the snow, Magallan clearly feels the wind subside. The waves of snow behind Simone vanish without a trace as she walks up to Magallan.
Hello, Magallan. Shouldn't you be out on an Icefield expedition? What brings you here? A professor I suspect has gone missing out there, but Ursus blocked the route again, so I have to take the long way around. I brought up some tea. Want some? Why, thank you.
She gulps the tea down.
So, you want to enter the Icefield from Sami? Uh-huh. Ah, right, Simone, you're a Sami, right? That I am. Then you... How could I possibly not help out a good acquaintance? Okay, then I'll say goodbye to Mr. Ivan when he gets back, and then we can head into Sami. Although I've heard it's kinda primitive there, and really scary. Is that what the Ursus messenger told you? He also said there's a witch around here who attacks people for no reason, so I should be careful. The Ursus are all like that. So what kind of person do you imagine this witch to be? A little scary, just like this tree. Mr. Ivan really seems to loathe Sami though. He was so upfront about it too. Us Sami hate the Ursus just as much. But why? Couldn't you just talk out this misunderstanding? Because to them, conquest is far simpler than understanding. They may see just one annoying witch, but countless Sami have already... No, it's getting late. Where did you say your friend was headed? North, towards the snowstorm. Wait here. I'll go and help him out. I think it's better if we go together. Stay put, Magallan. You're safer in here. Oh, okay then. Be careful out there, Simone. And be careful of the witch, yeah? If she does show up, I'll be sure to stay far away from her. In the meantime, could you warm up some more tea? And now, I'm all alone again. I hope Mr. Ivan and Simone can get along out there. What do you think, Mr. Tree?
The ancient tree responds with silence.
I still don't get it. How can I fight off a common enemy together 1 minute and go for each other's throats the next? Isn't cooperation obviously the better choice?
The venerable tree ponders for a moment and decides to answer by smacking its withered branches together.
What about you, Mr. Tree? Did you come here to this snowfield all on your own because other people couldn't understand you?
The towering tree feels the question is difficult to answer, so it chooses to remain silent.
You're right. That was a stupid question. But if possible, I still hope we can. I'm back. Simone? Oh, here's your tea. Thank you. So, where's Mr. Ivan? I looked where you told me to, but couldn't find the messenger you mentioned. The storm from the north is close. Perhaps he's already rendezvoused with the border guards he called for help, and taken refuge with them. Ursus sentry outposts aren't sturdy enough to withstand a snowstorm this strong. This building will be completely crushed. We might also want to, Can we wait just a bit longer? Mr. Ivan is a pretty experienced messenger, and we've known each other a long time, so I don't think he'd be caught by a snowstorm like this. If you insist, just a bit longer. I'll let the old tree know that we're safe. The old tree? Simone, are you from around here? It used to be my duty to protect this unchanging old tree. It may have transcended death, but failed to be remembered. And to think all this happened because of a moment of kind-heartedness. We sow goodwill only to reap evil. This is how the land does things. So, that's why there's a witch roaming nearby. Perhaps. It's about time. We'll be trapped in here if we don't get moving. What are you doing? Finding a spot protected from the wind to leave a mark for him. I have to at least let him know I made it out safely. That should do it. I'm leaving, Mr. Ivan. Goodbye. Let's go, Magallan. The wind and snow seem so docile when I'm with you, Simone. Just a little arts I happen to know. That communicator on your shoulder, I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. This? I bought it from an Ursus. It works quite well. Do you need one? I'm good. Colombian communicators are way easier to use than Ursus ones. Simone? Yes? There's something I need to apologize to you for. I hope you won't get angry. I won't know until I hear it. So earlier at the sentry outpost, I got a little excited and took some samples from Mr. Tree. Did you harm the old tree? No, the thing is, I did intend to make a hole and collect a sample, but as soon as I touched it, it just dropped 2 pieces of bark. So really, I didn't... Bark? Yeah, please don't get mad. I didn't doodle on it or anything. May I see them? Okay.
Santalla tries putting the pieces of bark together.
Gideon. Hailier? Thank you. Thank you so much. What is it, Simone? Oh, nothing. Keep this with you. The old tree won't blame you for it. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Tree. Yes. Praise be the old tree. The snowstorm will be here soon, so we need to hurry and find somewhere suitable to spend the night. Let's go.
Alright then, and let us now continue on to the second part, which is titled Daughter of the Icefield. Let's begin. Do we have news on Lazal and the other men who disappeared?
Yeah, we can stop searching. Demons have been through here. The ice there has arts damage. It was a hard fight.
They are all roots of the frost maple and respected warriors, but not even their bodies remained.
Bad weather is known to befall the Icefield.
But this kind of weather has been happening far too often of late.
Hadn't Sami long since warned us through Einn.
Now very quickly here, if you're going like, huh? The word I just said, or rather name, is Einn, which translates to oaks. Anyway.
Come, we must reinforce the fortifications and keep a close eye on every mountain pass.
Meanwhile, Magallan logs in her notebook.
We've entered the Fjall Wetterton. The current temperature is 31 degrees below zero. So far, I have yet to find any comm stations within Sami borders and haven't been able to make contact with Director Mariam's expedition team. If Professor Mari isn't around, who am I even going to send these notes to? Every time he reads my reports, he points out all the phenomena I should have paid closer attention to. We've passed through the local settlement mentioned in previous expedition records, at the foot of Fjall Wetterton, near the edge of the forest. Even though I only lost a single glove, it feels so cold. Need a hand, Magallan? Oh, it's alright, Simone. Almost done with this report. I'll be ready to leave the shelter and brave the blizzard soon. Now, where was I? Right. The settlement had vanished. I asked Simone...
She quickly erases this last sentence.
I asked an accompanying Sami about this, and it seems that Sami tribes are known to move around.
Suddenly, a blizzard. Why did they move?
I tried looking into it, but couldn't figure out anything out. Simone told me that it was Sami herself. She told me that danger was drawing near and that they had to leave. But the climate data we've collected so far aren't all that different from the historical record, and there don't seem to be any changes in long-term trends either. So what kind of danger is Sami facing?
Looks like the scientific investigation section's data needs to be updated.
Right, Sami is still a blind spot in our knowledge. But it seems the Sami really don't like being disturbed. Professor Mary, you've always wanted to work with them, but haven't been able to. It takes so much effort to get our applications processed in Ursus. If we could just find a new path into the Icefield through Sami and build more research stations, our expeditions would be so much easier.
Unfortunately, the Sami don't want anyone in the Icefield.
Right. Huh? Was I just talking to Professor Mary? Simone! Simone! What's the matter? I just... do you see a group of people over there? There's too much snow, I can't quite...
Magallan!
Is it really Professor Mary? Simone, I need to head over there and look.
Magallan!
Ah! It's really you. Thank goodness. I found you guys. I knew you'd be safe. Weird. How come I can't speak? My heart's beating too fast. Am I trembling? Why? No. I need to stop the professor and take them back. Professor! Shh. Don't listen. Don't look. Don't speak. I don't blame you, Simone. It's been a long time since you last visit. It's no wonder you didn't sense it. I see. So now I'm a visitor here. Not as much as her, but still a visitor. The route you two took hasn't been used for a long time. You're lucky I take this detour every time. So the warriors still haven't accepted you, even now. But the land herself clearly regards you as a beloved child. In any case, thank you for your help, Typhon. No need to pay me back. The food I hid around here is more than enough to last me a few months. So you said you were heading to the Icefield to look for missing Southerners? Yes. Then let me come with you. The missing man must have run into trouble. I'll help you protect him. Can I talk now? Is it okay if I talk? Listen! Don't move. Why are you raising your hands? Because I heard the Sami are very fierce, and they don't like it when others enter the Icefield? I'm really not plotting anything bad. Well, the warriors here are indeed fierce, but I'm no warrior. Anyway, I woke you up just now with my arts, but you can still hear the voices, right? Yeah, I can. It's okay. I've realized it's a hallucination by now. I'm not stupid enough to keep talking to it. Right, I should jot this down in my notes too. So do you know what causes these hallucinations? Exhaustion due to extreme weather? Maybe something in the weather that paralyzes the central nervous system? Come here. Your ear.
Magallan whispers.
Okay, go ahead and tell me. Alright, now the other side. Okay, huh? Weren't you going to whisper something? Did you just rub something on my ears? It felt kinda cold. Now put this under your tongue and press down on it. Moss and a ball of mud? I know that explorers sometimes boil leather when they're completely out of food, but I've never considered eating moss in an emergency. Alright, Magallan, be brave and give it a shot. Stop being so suspicious of everything. Just put it in your mouth. Now, you'll only hear your own voice and won't be bothered by those strange noises. Really? You're so helpful. Wait, but won't I be deaf to any environmental dangers too? It'll also affect my balance when I climb. It's too risky. Don't be afraid. Just rest, Typhon. We'll take you somewhere where the snow's not contaminated. Yeah, we'll give you a hand signal when you can spit the mud out. Until then, don't talk too loud. You don't want it to hear you. Alright.
The young explorer suddenly stops and looks in a direction where no one's standing. The brief pause lasts only 2 seconds. She quickly follows Typhon's directions and squeezes the mud ball into her mouth, as though nothing unusual had happened.
Yeah, I can't hear anything now. Stop. There must be fur scattered in the snow. It's a kind of detection arts. Good thing you held Magallan back. We couldn't escape the warrior's eyes, but at the very least our visit seems a little more respectful this way. Should we have her spit out the mud ball? You can fill her in on the situation. If her plan was to enter the Icefield this way, then she probably knows nothing about the northern front. No need. Leave the negotiations to me. Most of these warriors would chase us off with their hammers the moment they hear Colombian, or the common tongue. See? It's the Legion. They aren't going to talk to us.
You, daughter of the Santalla tree.
Greetings, warriors of Triskar.
You're with an outlander. And the hunter with the black bow.
Indeed. But please don't be so quick to attack. This outlander asks nothing of Sami. We simply seek to enter the endless Icefield.
The Sami warriors surround them in silence. They show no intention of backing off. Though silent, their stances remain unchanged, with their hands on their weapons. Regardless, Santalla seems to know exactly what it is they need to hear.
I understand. It's against the rules. No one should enter the Icefield rashly. You build these high walls not only to keep the Icefield's disaster at bay, but also to stop the Sami and wild beasts. But her dear mentor has disappeared in the Icefield. She is earnestly trying to rescue someone who is practically family to her, and I hope you can make an exception.
The Sami warriors do not move an inch.
Please, trust us. We will take care of the Southerner and prevent her from acting rashly against Sami. She won't become lost, and absolutely won't become your enemy. We are accompanying her in order to take care of any worst-case scenarios that might happen to her or the missing men.
Trust that black bow too? You want us to trust the daughter of a crazed cyclops?
That black bow means nothing. She fights the same enemy as you.
Her mind may be clear, but it doesn't mean her weapon won't bring misfortune. There was a time when we brought back the belongings of every last fallen warrior, until we realized that the enemy could find us through their contaminated relics. I'm sure you know this well. Simone, from under the Santalla tree.
I am a shaman no longer, but if that identity will make you reconsider, then I am more than happy to use it.
There are still many among us who remember the warrior who almost became a Snowpriest, but she ran from her duties, so we do not intend to bring up her past.
Her power can still take care of those around her. The team that went missing amounts to more than a dozen men. The Northern warriors I know would never turn a blind eye with so many lives on the line.
No. You must bear the harshness of fate, daughter of the Santalla tree. Endure it. Do not run away.
Those are Eithirnir's words. Did he learn something from his divination about the whole northern realm?
I have no answers for outsiders. But Eithirnir has already led many a warrior south to inform each tribe of Sami's whispers.
I understand. If Sami has made her prophecy, I shan't insist on entering the Icefield. But now that it's come to this, we lack the supplies to head back down the mountain and take the long way around. Even though the demon's contamination spreads without end, we have no choice but to continue our journey through the mountains and through the paths guarded by our warriors.
Supplies? You only have the Southerner shortcomings to blame. They claim the land a barren wilderness, which is why they find themselves unable to survive in nature.
I'm simply asking that you... Let's go, Simone. You don't owe them an explanation. Wait, that hand signal. Are you for real? Yeah, trust me. Just hold on a moment. Peter, let me explain. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just an explorer. The only thing in these crates are reserved drones. I can open it up if you want to look. I'm not trying to sneak into the Icefield either. I just didn't know how to get in touch with the Sami government to submit an application. Wait, does Sami have a government? I haven't actually seen anything resembling one, but I do have the documents I was going to hand over to Ursus. My ID, exploration permit, and the abandoned route plans. They all prove that I'm just an explorer, nothing more. Anyway, Simone and Typhon have both been so nice to me. Please don't blame them. If it's me that you're suspicious of, I'll explain everything. Also... Huh?
She's not imagining things. Everyone's expressions grow increasingly solemn with every word she says. They're all looking behind her, as though they too can hear her hallucinations.
Run, you bird brain! You brought an omen of disaster right into the group! This way! Is this the path you mentioned? That's right. That was close. The arrow hit the rock. Thanks, rock. Thanks, Vertertron. They probably mistook it for one of us in this thick snowfall. Your arts come in handy, Simone. I knew I could trust you to keep us hidden. Okay, now this way. It's gotten quieter. Let me check. Yeah, I don't see them anymore. Good, we shook them off. Or perhaps they stopped giving chase. Whatever the case, we should be safe now, right? All of a sudden, I'm out of breath. Give me your hand. I'll help you. Thanks. The expedition equipment and my protective gear are all just too heavy. When they designed this extreme north exploration gear, they probably didn't think we'd need to run in the mountains. No, wait. I need to apologize. I couldn't hear anything earlier, but it looked like you were bickering because of me, and then I got ahead of myself and started shouting. The director always tells me to think before I act, but maybe it's because I have no idea what's so scary about these hallucinations. But I didn't really think that through, did I? No need to apologize. Nature doesn't debate right and wrong. All that matters is closeness. The same goes for those northern warriors just now. Closeness? They're just like a chain of mountains. No matter what you say to them, you will never become part of the mountains. All you can do is try your hardest to surmount them. Of course, you can also tell the mountains that they're wrong and should be flat ground instead. Why are they so unwilling to talk it out? Let's set aside whether they could even understand you. Those warriors normally have no need for words. See, if you and I lived together all day, every day, and everything we did was the same daily routine, patrolling, hunting, fighting, we wouldn't have much reason to talk. Because we'd be too used to everything? No, because communication is only needed when we think different thoughts. That's why I call them a chain of mountains. Besides, they have to deal with the Ursus too. To them, they must be wary of any outlanders whose intentions they cannot discern at a single glance. It may seem a little cruel, but it's how they have to live.
Santalla continues in Sami.
One must accept fate, no matter what form it takes.
Magallan answers back in Sami.
Fate. What's done is done. The signal I gave there was for Simone to run. When you're dealing with those warriors, most of the time you're going to have to back down. You can't count on them giving way. That said, now we can't reach the Icefield to find your teacher. Yeah. So, what are you going to do now? I guess I'll go to Chapat to request help.
Now, very quickly here, I'm not translating that, that's a name. What I want to say here, as a Croatian, I am very happy to see the Croatian letter ch in there. Pleases my heart and soul. Anyway.
That's the southernmost city in Sami, isn't it? Yeah, it's where a lot of Colombian companies have their own branch offices in Sami. Now that the Ursus route is sealed off, it's the only place the Exploration Society can mount a rescue from. I'll rendezvous with them and try my best to collect information on the route. After all, nobody's really all that familiar with Sami. I'll keep escorting you then. I don't need payment. I have no use for most of the trinkets Southerners offer. I just happen to have a client waiting for me in Chapat. Wow, thanks! What about you, Simone? I promised I'd stay with you, didn't I? But, Typhon, where does this path lead? I find it hard to imagine that there are still paths in this mountain that the scouts haven't discovered. That's because this takes us to where Argus lives. A Cyclops' cave. Yeah, I guess it's my home too. At least I grew up there. I may have used Sarka's arts to cover our tracks, but any veteran shaman is bound to figure it out in an instant, but I doubt they'd want to disturb a Cyclops. No one likes hearing the prophesied tragedies doomed to befall them after all. If they'd kept chase, I'd have to count on Argus being home to help us out. Luckily, they weren't so patient. This is making me feel uneasy, though. They gave up far too easily, almost as if they abandoned us in the snow. There's nothing to fear. I'm watching our surroundings.
The snow creaks beneath their feet.
Oh, right. The disaster you two mentioned earlier. What's that all about? If we're able to find the source of the auditory hallucinations and bring back samples to Rhine for analysis, maybe we could find a more long-term remedy.
Neither of them answer Magallan right away. Instead, the sound of their boots, singing in the snow, grows louder by the step.
Not a strange question. Do you people think the catastrophes, the cold, or the fangs of a mangler will just up and disappear one day? The disaster is relatively less common, but if it comes knocking on your door, you cannot defeat it. Just like now.
The sound of their footsteps in the snow stops. While she wasn't paying attention, the snow had become light as a feather. Magallan blinks and does a double take.
Am I hallucinating again, or is it snowing upwards? No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. The snow is floating mid-air above our heads. I need to gather samples. Give me a minute to activate the drones! A snowflake that's still floating upward. Ha! Got it! Next snow that's accumulated midair. Watch out! The snow crumbles downward. And from what I can barely make out, given the visibility, there seems to be a lot more accumulated in the sky up ahead. If you keep going, it's enough to bury all three of us once it comes crumbling down. This phenomenon must have been around for a while. They already know about it, so they stopped giving chase. They knew we were prey driven into a dead end. Not even a Snowpriest's arts can do anything about this. And nor can I. Any snow I summon will only float upward and break free from my control. Wait, Magallan, stay close to us. It's dangerous to go alone. It's okay. I just need to get a little further away to collect samples. If the drones lose their balance while gathering and knock down the mid-air snow, only I'll be buried. Oh, that was close. Do you feel it? The snow is trembling. Each step we take awakens it. But a girl like her won't stop here. Give me a hand. Most people don't like doing this, but given the circumstances, we should give it a shot. Right, to make sure the blood flows onto the arrowhead, I'll need to cut a little deeper. But you don't need me to worry about you, right? Do what you must, Typhon. Just don't cut too deep because our hands are numb to by the cold. The snow's coming down more quickly. Yeah, the black seeds buried in the soil know my bow and arrows. This is exactly why people always misunderstand me. Okay, it's just Magallan left. Magallan? What's your status? Oh, I'm fine. It's just the snow fell down and blocked the path. Let me switch to the snow clearing module. Okay, you two can come over now. Give me your hand first. Take off your glove. Give me a bit of time to steel myself first. Okay, here. That'll do it.
The arrow, soaked in the three women's blood, breezes through the cold wind. With a loud bang, an entire slab of frozen snow comes crashing down onto a cliff to the side.
Sarka's witchcraft. The snow up there won't fall anymore. I'll keep an eye out for the next place that looks dangerous and deal with it ahead of time, in the same way. Let's keep going.
I found a few more dead hornbeasts close to the spring water. We followed the Sami, the will of the land, and moved our entire tribe from the foot of the mountain all the way through the tundra. So why aren't we free of the disaster's corrosion yet? We should try the divination one more time, just one more time, to see what the land will finally grant, when the land will finally grant us peace. Or do you mean the Cyclops that traveled with us back then was telling the truth? That there would come a day when desolation would befall our tribe?
Didn't you say that somebody lived here? Yeah, and that I used to live here too. She's not here as usual. But this is a cave! Too bad Simone had to leave because something came up. If she were here, she could tell me if this is normal or not. Nothing. Just wondering how I should describe this place in my notes. Whatever works for you. Here, jerky and salt. Argus isn't stingy. You can take whatever you want. Now we should have enough supplies to make it to the bottom of the mountain. Thanks, Typhon. But hold on. I don't know this Argus you're talking about. Seems a bit rude. She herself said, and I quote,
and she quotes in sarcasm,
"Anything with its curtain pulled open can be shared." You can take that to mean she doesn't care. Huh, well, don't mind if I do. Also, is it okay if I make a detailed record of the cave in its current state? I want to take a few pictures too. I promise I won't make a mess. Why even ask? When you're done, come by the fire and rest. Gotcha! Right, and can I look at these notes too? Go ahead. Only she can understand what's in there anyway. Okay. Huh? Right. Typhon, there's something I've been meaning to ask. Logically speaking, when you hallucinate, you shouldn't hear any words you don't know, or any concepts you've never heard of, right? I'm not sure I follow your logic, but what about it? Anyway, take a look at this page. When the box is open, Skógrinn will realize.
And very quickly, the word used there translates to "the demons will realize."
That's the last thing I heard the director say before you helped me cut off the noise from my surroundings.
Meanwhile,
this Ursus communicator, it's getting a signal. The question is, how long ago was it sent?
reporting to army border guards. With the help of Libafal, Black Mark, in Sami. And with that, we shall wrap up today's first part. A couple of things were set up, a couple of interesting things did already happen, and some words were thrown about that are quite interesting, and I'm kind of wondering where this is gonna go. But anyway, all I can say here is, as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Like I said in the intro, there is a lot more here on the channel if you just want to sit back, relax, and listen to these Arknights stories being narrated, told, voice acted, and you get, like you just heard through the episodes, translated stuff as well along the line, so you can always understand what some characters are saying, and I also do my best to well, I do my best, that's the thing I'm gonna go with there, to pronounce stuff as properly as possible. But anyway, consider subscribing. And of course, if you want to support me and my work more directly, there are memberships on the channel, and as always, no video will ever be behind a membership. They are literally just there to support me and the channel. And considering if you're watching this as it is appearing live right now on the channel, I'm also live streaming this week. This week I began live streaming rather the just freshly released new premium game from Hypergriff, which is Ex Astris. First part as of right now is already on the channel, and if you want to catch the other streams, just keep a lookout. One other stream will be coming today as well, and the rest of the week we'll have something else, but we will be playing that game and we will be finishing that game. So if you are curious about how that one is looking, doing, and what the gameplay is like, take a look. Playlist is pretty much right there. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much. Hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.